Hello, I'm Umbrenero and welcome back to Umbrenero's Life. Today's video is my May 2026 plan with me. This video is a day late, but sometimes things just happen, such as having a migraine that makes getting anything done nearly impossible. But I got this going and got it done pretty quickly once I actually got started. And I did this kind of in a weird order for the design element on this page. I was doing a Nordic type design. I had the book I just showed as a reference and inspiration for what I wanted to do. So I decided to do a simple yet complex layout, which in the end probably is a headache on its own, but it is what it is, and I wanted to do something a little bit different and a little simpler for the month of May because I have a lot going on in this month. But like I said, I used that book kind of as a reference for some design elements that I was going to use throughout here because I just wanted to do something a little different. I would have made some vinyl stickers and added them in, but I was having an issue of figuring out what exact design I wanted to go with and stuff like that. But I did do some research and I found some runes that are from the Norse region and stuff like that, and figured out the letter equivalents to them using multiple sources, and I decided I am going to write the month two ways here. So I figured out how to write May as close as I could because one of the sources gave me the one symbol saying it could be a Y and another one said it could be, and I went with it. And then I just wrote May along the side. Then quickly went through, numbered the calendar like I do at the start of the month because for some reason just having this does help. Especially if I know there's going to be things going on that I am going to be busy for. But with the calendar done, it was time to move on to the section of things. And for May, the way this month is, I made a decision, and I probably should have spaced this a little bit better thinking back about it. But it is what it is. I'll make do with what I did. But this little design was on the cover of the book quite a bit in the corners. So I'm like, alright, we're going to do this. A lot of Nordic type things I was seeing had that similar shape. So it's like, alright, we can use this. And then I decided I wanted to do borders around anything I was doing, except for on the calendar page. This is what took me the longest out of the entire setup for this month, was doing these borders. And you will see why I say that when it comes to my weekly logs. But went in, did a lighter color for the one direction, and then I decided we're going to come in with this brighter orange to represent like a gold color, because I was using the book really as an influence on colors because I really could not think of what color to use. And you would think after doing this pattern so much, it'd be second nature. It somewhat was. But it is what it is. So here I'm doing the second part of it. And as you can see, it's only going part of the way down this second page. And I decided, all right, the one side is going to be dad things. The other side is going to be my things. And I have a lot of projects I want to try to get done with my dad this month. So we'll see how much I can actually do. And then it is going to be a lot of, all right, what are the things that I need to do for me? Because there's a few of them, and I just need to go and actually plan them out because I have not gone that far yet. But I wanted to have a minimal thing, but not overboard, I guess. It is what it is. But then we're moving right into the weekly logs. And usually I like my weeks to go from Sunday to Saturday. Well, with the way this month is laid out, I did not want to have 2 whole pages right where there's basically nothing on the page. So I don't think I've done this in a while, but I decided I'm just going to do all the days in order, not have that little decorative gap that I've kind of been putting stickers in for the last few months. I'm just going to have the decoration around all of my little daily sections, and we'll go from there. And yes, trying to do all of these did take some time. In all, it did take me over an hour to draw all of this working straight through. But I had this kind of figured out with what I wanted, where it was going to lay out. So I went with what I had. So the first 2 days ended up being on the same page as the things. And I figured, alright, I'm going to draw the line here. We'll be good. And then it's like, alright, I'm going to just use color, one color at a time, get done with it, and go from there, just to make it easier on myself. So that's exactly what I did. I drew the dividing lines between the days throughout the whole month. Didn't have to do it on the last day because it only took up a quarter of the page. And then it was taking the light color and continuing the pattern. And before I was saying, oh, this should be like muscle memory by now and second nature almost. Yeah, sure. It sure is. There was a page where I had some problems. But I was determined to just get this done and have this prepped before the month of May. Because there's been a few times where I have not had my layout set until month of, or like the day before. Here I am, 5 days, 6 days before the month begins, getting this finished and ready to go. And I'll say I'm glad that I'm not being a perfectionist, especially this year with how some of my layouts have ended up looking, because there have been some issues throughout, and it's not fun being perfect. I rather just have fun and just go with the flow and let things happen as they do. Like I will say, this pattern going around the areas that I will be filling in, there are spots where it is not perfectly even because of how I have my pages laid out. I could have shifted everything over a box and everything would have been perfect. But it's like, no, I'm letting this have some chaos and just have a little bit of uniqueness so that way it is different and it has its own personality. But here I was putting in the other color for all the borders. Mistake on that page. There's probably a mistake on each page somewhere. You just have to look hard enough and you'll find it. I knew once I had the borders all done, I wanted to go through and put the days in for each of the boxes because I wasn't doing it as a normal weekly layout and I was condensing stuff down to kind of save pages. So I did go through with one of the brown colors that I had and started putting in the date in the lower right corner of each box. Figured it made sense if they were all the same. But we're on to the migration area, which is the final section. And for one last time, I had to do the nice little design I decided to go with on my corners. Do I think I should have done a simpler design? Potentially. It would have made this so much quicker and so much easier. But when have I ever been easy on myself with things like this? And for the migration box, I literally did the exact same thing as I did with the smaller things box. Is I just went to the corners and did the outline. And then added in my title. But instead of the bottom, I put it on top just to help divide the page a little bit more. But it didn't really matter where it was going to end up because it was going to end up somewhere anyways. But once this was done, my May setup was finished. And I don't know how, but I managed to center this perfectly. And I did not think ahead when I did that. So I do like how this turned out. It's very minimal for the month, but it's kind of what I think I need just to get things taken care of because I want to get a lot done this month and who knows exactly what all will get done. So this should be very useful and helpful for me. So, thanks for watching, and if you could like and subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. Again, thank you for watching, and until next time, I am Umbrenero. Bye!